So, but in the same way, like I'm getting the experience that I think OnlyFans girls get, because there's guys who don't want to date women because they do OnlyFans. I'm sure you guys have maybe had that experience.
Yes.
You guys do OnlyFans.
Yes.
Some guys might have an issue dating you because of that.
That's fine.
That's fine. I'm not forcing anybody to like me.
Word.
What
Good
word?
times. Word. Huh?
Oh, we're
But okay, so did you have more on the double standard? I don't feel like I've adequately addressed your argument.
Oh, it was more to inquire whether or not you believe there is one, and then secondly,
There is one, but it's
Right.
justified. It's justified.
But is it like,
Yep.
are you going to really care that much?
About
okay,
what?
great question. In your dating life,
Yeah.
what is a okay zone for your person you're pursuing to have a body count in?
What's her body count?
Like, what are you okay with before it becomes an issue?
Sure. I mean, it varies. Obviously, the lower the better. I'd say the lower the better.
You would date a virgin?
Absolutely.
That's like
I don't know.
preferred?
I mean, the thing is that's rare. So it's.
And she,
As a
But
person,
would I find that more attractive? Yes. 100%.
I don't believe that men really want virgins. As a 22-year-old who was a virgin, I don't know. I don't think so.
Because then you have to learn everything, and it's takes practice to be good at that. It actually does.
Oh my.
there's a lot of men
Hold
that
on.
would rather have the ego boost of you learning from them and you having a lower body count. There's so many out there that take that in such stride, and I'm not saying I agree, but repetitively I've heard it.
I feel like men love her.
No, they like the idea of it.
Nope.
They
Hold on.
like
That's
the
what
idea-
they like.
The idea is appealing to have good sex, right? But more often when men are dating for long-term commitment, they're looking for somebody with that lower body count so that person can learn with them and be more submissive towards how his demeanor is and what he likes. So it's like it's a catering factor.
I guess. I don't
Sex,
know.
sex is not sex is not a complicated procedure. Like, especially as a guy, because even with women who are experienced sexually, they're still going to be looking to the guy to lead in the bedroom, generally speaking. Like, most women, even if they do have experience, don't want to fuck with a guy who's inexperienced anyways. So your experience when it comes to sex is kind of irrelevant. And like, as a guy, if you're a leader and you have experience when it comes to sex, you can take a girl who's a virgin and have great sex with her.
Because that woman's
Yeah,
going to
because
learn
it's
from
on
you and
your-
what you
I don't
want.
mind a guy who's.
What
I don't
you
mind a
want.
guy who's inexperienced. I think that's a rumor.
And
Men
then
and
he'll
women are
cheat
not
on
the
her
same.
with a hoe.
Men and women are not the same. So
That goes without saying. But I'm saying you said that women wouldn't want a guy who's inexperienced, but that doesn't bother me.
It wouldn't bother you if your partner couldn't perform good oral on you.
If they're inexperienced and they haven't had the practice, like, sure, I'll teach them a thing or two.
Yeah, you can definitely
Okay.
teach.
okay,
Teachable is one
that's
thing.
great for
Yeah.
you. However, most women don't want to teach men how to fuck them.
Have you
That's not
spoken
true
to
at
most
all.
women about that?
Most
That's
women,
not
most
true.
women
Yes.
have to.
What makes sex
Most-
so amazing is communication.
Okay, sure, but most women want men who come pre-assembled,
How do you know?
because first off, it's self-evident.
Is it?
Yeah,
It
or
is.
based off of
That's a
the men
generalization.
that get
Women
all
are-
the girls.
women are
You're
attracted to
generalizing women, and then you don't like it when we do that back to you.
Yes,
need a
I'm
citable
speaking in
source.
generalities. I'm more than happy to generalize men also. We're speaking in generalities
I
here.
don't think we should generalize anybody.
Well, I mean, if we're going to have a productive conversation, there needs to be some degree of generalizing. Otherwise, we can talk about.
Then I disagree
hold on.
with your
We can talk.
generalization.
We can talk about the dating, the dating experiences of biracial dwarves. I mean,
What?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like we're going to generalize. Otherwise, we can talk about non-binary biracial dwarves and their
Okay, I get your
asexual
point. I'm saying
dating
I
for
disagree
them.
with your generalization. I think that's comes from a place of personal bias. I don't. Whoa, that was a large bug. Anyways, I don't think most women mind a guy who's inexperienced. I literally think it comes down to the person. I've known hundreds of women in my lifetime, And I've heard every opinion from I want a guy who knows what he's doing to I want a virgin and everything in between. So I don't think it's fair to make that generalization.
Most women would prefer men who are sexually experienced in bed and know what they're doing.
I agree.
Most women would find it a turnoff. You might be willing to do it, but at some level, it's going to be a turnoff if you have to instruct a guy on how to fuck you. Women want men to just get it. I'm not saying all women. However, generally speaking, I would say like because women typically when it comes to sex, there's a dom sub component to it. Women like men who can lead. Women like to be submissive in the bedroom. Generally speaking, are there some women who are dominant and who are fine teaching and leading in the bedroom? Sure. But I would say generally speaking, women want men to take charge and take the lead when in the bedroom.
So you're saying
So most women.
No, I agree, because most women that I speak to, they don't want to date virgins. They want, someone who's experienced. And most of the guys that get all the girls or all the women, they're out there.
So it's fine though when the woman is inexperienced.
Yeah, what is your reasoning on the
What do you mean?
virgin preference? Like why? Because
Low body count is one. Well, there's no body count.
but what does that mean to you?
Men find low body count and sexual purity attractive.
Why?
Yeah,
There's biological reasons. There's
you list
social
them?
reasons. Sure, absolutely.
He's like, I've made a list.
So I mean, the chief thing. I don't think it's the. Let me preface it by saying, I don't think it's going to be the most compelling argument that I can tell you. That I don't think you're going to be like, whoa, I'm convinced, Brian. However, I think it's probably one of the strongest things as to why men care about body count. So aside from avoiding STDs, it comes down to paternity, guaranteeing paternity. So it's evolutionary psychology, biological reasons. If a woman has 10 husbands, actually, no, that's fine. If a woman has 10 husbands and she's sleeping with all of them concurrently, who's the father of the child that she will eventually bear? You
DNA
don't
test.
know. Okay, DNA test came around 40 years ago. That doesn't undo hundreds of thousands of years of evolutionary hardwiring.
Did
But
you
that
know
doesn't really
that
apply if you enter into a monogamous relationship with somebody who's not a virgin, but their past is their past. So if you're monogamous with that person from that point onwards, if she gets pregnant who the father is. So that becomes void.
The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. So if someone's previously promiscuous, they're more likely to cheat. There's a higher likelihood of infidelity.
I didn't say promiscuous. I just said somebody who's
High
not a
body
virgin
count.
because you said you prefer a virgin. Well, what if somebody's, been in long-term relationships or they've been married, so
Yes,
obviously not a virgin.
And that's more preferable than a woman who's been with 10, as is a woman who's been with 10 is more preferable than a woman who's been with 20, et cetera, et cetera.
You're allowed to have your boundaries. That's fine. I'm just saying, why is a total virgin preferable then?
It's just like, wouldn't it? Here's a comparison. Wouldn't it be preferable to date a guy who has $300,000, who makes $300,000 a year? Wouldn't it be preferable if it was 400, 500, 600, a million, et cetera, et cetera? So obviously, the lower the body count, and that extends all the way to zero, aka a virgin.
Is that because you see them as damaged goods every time they get a new body?
Well, there is something to. Hold on.
Martin donated $100.
Thank you, Martin.
Ladies, you've got thousands of men watching right now shocked at how utterly wrong your understanding of men is. Your fathers and brothers completely failed you. Elon, create a time machine so we can go back in time and slap the out of these men.
I can't understand you with Elon's
Damn.
in your mouth.
Oh, wow. Okay. Marquavius, shots fired. Let me see. How many?
But don't you think that perspective is dated?
What perspective?
Needing a woman that has a lower body count due to the fact that you have to figure out who the father is. Like, those are all very dated perspectives.
It doesn't.
'cause there's
Why
DNA.
are women attracted to tall men?
I don't care about height.
Oh my God.
It's just a
Okay.
preference.
I don't know.
Give me
I don't.
this. Generally speaking, do most women prefer to date men taller than them?
Yes.
Yes.
Most, me, no.
Why?
I don't know
Just
why.
preference.
It's
No,
is a
that-
personal
I
preference.
hear your argument. It's a protective aspect. It's a biological.
It's an
biological.
evolutionary
Biological,
thing.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Your-
But
your
your
height-
argument about
don't
that
you-
whole, like, there are tribes out there that literally women do sleep with every man in the tribe
I was
because,
just
That's
because the whole tribe wants to raise the child as one.
Careful.
I was gonna say that.
You're gonna
is a
tread
tr-
in a. If you say it's disgusting,
if you
you're
read the
gonna
word
tread danger.
sapiens,
Why? It's what?
If you were, I just thought maybe you were treading somewhere.
No, but
against
what would
other
it be?
people's-
What would it be if I was about to say what I was about to say?
It's just
It would go against a lot of traditional historical behaviors that have been. It's not our modern day society. It's okay for them to have done that for generations. That's their traditions, and it's an old belief system.
It
Well,
would
I don't
be that
know.
they're-
Are we in the Paleolithic here? I don't know
But
what
you're telling me
what
that they
period
can't
of time.
keep their belief systems?
No, okay. I was about to say if a woman is sleeping with an entire tribe, I think that's disgusting.
Even if that's the tribal beliefs of their group and that's been staying there for
Yes,
hundreds of years?
as a rational individual who's capable of thought, I'm entitled to.
Would
Hold
you-
on.
that would be like-
Let me finish. I'm entitled to making judgment calls about different cultures.
that would
Would
be
you
like
feel the same way
ethnocentric
if-
though.
Would you feel the same way if the tribe's belief was centered around one man sleeping with all the women in the tribe?
What's the question?
Would
If-
you still
if
feel
women-
like it was
if women-
disgusting if the
I w-
genders were reversed in this situation and the tribe was one man sleeping with all of the women in his tribe?
I'll answer that in two ways. So first, I would say women are more than capable of having the same position as me. So if a woman was disgusted by that, I think that's totally fine. Now, there are certain biological differences in the example that you gave. From a practical point of view, I think I'm in favor of monogamy for both men and women. So practically speaking, I think that would be disastrous for the tribe because whoever that one dude is who's fucking all the chicks, the other men in the tribe are going to fucking kill him.
But
Because-
you're basing
So
that,
you
you're
would be
basing that off
disgusted
of
by it, so
you're
yes.
basing that off of society now. Like you're bringing like jealousy and all kinds of stuff that wasn't a thing back then.
I think
Like,
jealousy.
they're-
has
Oh,
always
jealousy
been
didn't
around.
exist
I
in
think
the-
jealousy's always been around.
No, okay,
for
fine,
sure.
fine, possibly. But the whole reason why they did this is because they wanted a child to be able to have the traits of all of the men in the tribe, and so they wanted it to be as diverse as possible, and no man could have a specific say in anything or more than anyone else, and so it's just like. It's tribe mentality. It's raising kids up like in the 70s when your neighbors had to watch neighborhood kids and help, quote, parent them or
Bro, okay, in the Western, I don't know what some tribe in Ethiopia, I don't know what some tribe somewhere is doing or has done. What I can speak about is, broadly speaking, in the Western and Eastern world, monogamy has been the norm. Perhaps in some Muslim countries, there's polygamy. However, monogamy has been valued up until very recently. We had Christianity. Chastity and monogamy was valued for both men and women. So virginity, bringing it back to that, has been valued for the past 2,000 years in both men and women. It's only until very recently where we've pretty much destroyed the social order. So I can't speak to some tribe how I don't know
that's
what.
fair. I'm just saying that's not everything.
But what was the original?
Your fact was just pretty like.
What was my fact?
It was more of his opinion of that
right.
scenario
Well, I think
that I disregarded.
Just on a general level, I think promiscuity is disgusting. It's gross.
I believe in monogamy. I do.
For my.
but- yeah. Sorry.
Okay, for myself, it's like the idea of sleeping with a woman who just slept with the guy the night before, to me is disgusting. And I don't have a double standard on this. If a woman would be disgusted sleeping with a man who just slept with another girl, I think that's totally fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you can't, in order for, if a hookup culture exists, if promiscuity exists, having a high body count exists, you can't object to me finding that gross. Like I just, well, I suppose you can, but